comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
Alright, so the Lego Movie 2 has been out for a couple days now, and I've already seen it, so I'm going to talk about it in spoiler depth. So spoiler warning, if you want to hear my spoiler-free thoughts, I do have a review over there if you just want to hear them real quickly. Really enjoyed the movie. I really like it. Highly suggest you go check it out. So what I'd say, go to the nearest showtime, stop this video, leave, go to the nearest showtime, see the nearest showtime at your nearest theater for the Lego Movie 2. Go to see the movie, then come back and come here and watch this video, because I want this movie to make as much money as we can so we can get Lego Movie 3. So let's go into spoilers. So, spoiler warning. Heavy. I didn't think I was going to make this video, to be honest. I wasn't thinking like, oh my gosh, this movie's going to be so twisted or something. But no, there are a couple plot twists in the movie, cool references, stuff I can't talk about it spoiler free, and I really felt kind of limited in that review. So I'm going to talk about stuff in it. First thing I'm going to talk about is the great references in this movie. There were some great references in the movie. The first thing I'll talk about is how President Business, it's not really references, I actually thought President Business was going to make a cameo, and he does pretty much make a cameo. But one thing I just noticed, so at the beginning of the movie, President Business goes to go golfing. I don't know why that's it. I thought it was funny though. He goes to go golfing, and then at the very end of the movie, he comes back when everything's happy. President Business was golfing for 5 years. Another thing I said is a lot of the movie references are really funny, like when Batman is saying, oh, excuse me, I'm the leader here, and then Wild Styl's like, you're not the leader, and he's like, have they made 9 movies about you? And there were like 3 in production for me or something. And I was like, that is funny though. Even though I don't think there are 3 Batman movies in production, but whatever. There's probably a Lego Batman movie 2, and then there's the Batman movie in 2021. So I don't think we have them. Batman, this is the last time we're going to see you for a while. Unless you make a cameo in Shazam. Which apparently Black Adam only makes a cameo in Shazam. Come on. You told us he was going to be the villain in it. Now we have that loser that blocks his punch. Also, I noticed something recently. A lot of the time when I go to animated kids movies, they'll play the Shazam trailer, but they'll play it really down G. Like, there's the scene where he's charging all the people's phones, and when he charges one guy's phone, he usually says, the hell? And then in this one, he just goes, the. And like, he goes, the. And then they censor it, and I was like, that is the worst censoration ever. And there's another thing in the trailer where it shows him go up to the people who are robbing the bank. You could see one, and he's doing this with his hand, but there's no gun in the hand. So I don't know what's going on there. And then he's like, gentlemen, we should sell this in a normal fashion. Then his friend pulls out the phone, then he throws him out the window. You can show guns. You can show people getting shot and the bullets breaking. I don't get why this is a thing, but whatever. When it showed in this movie, the Lego Movie 2, when it showed all the people getting onto the spaceship, it was the Justice League getting onto the spaceship, I was praying that they were going to make fun of the garbage heap that is Justice League. They didn't do that. Got me really upset. But they even did kind of make fun of Batman vs. Superman in the original Lego Batman. Not really make fun of it. They did reference it, though. I think they did actually in Lego. Yeah, they did in Lego Batman. Or it was either in the trailer. It was in Lego Batman, yeah. Yeah. Also, when I saw the original Lego movie, I didn't know Green Lantern, the movie, was as bad as it was. But are they making fun of Green Lantern here? I think they're making fun of Green Lantern here, because I think they're making fun of the movie, because I thought that was funny, though, if they are. Anyway, so I did like the element that the Duplo people have been destroying their world. They just keep coming back. I liked that element, and it's explained later why that's a really great element. Anyway, there's another part in this movie. Let's see, what's the part again? The second part, that was dumb. I did laugh really hard, though, when the camera was going through Apocalypseburg. I was really laughing hard. I was laughing at all the funny references, all the, like, the cool little things kind of making fun of Mad Max or something like that. I found that was pretty funny. I did like the element, though, that Emmett hasn't changed with the times, and I like how that's kind of the message of this movie. So when they all go behind the gate in the Batman shit... Oh, there's another joke when where Emmett's walking by and he says to Batman, hey, Batman, what you doing? He's like, oh, yeah, just to be cool, I saved the world again. Just being all sad and lonely, because that's what the fans want. I actually just burst out laughing, because I was like, that is the best. Because I just love it when they know that they're a movie. This is the type of meta humor that works. A lot of movies do not understand meta humor. They'll make them know they're in a movie and they'll bring it up all the time. It's funny in a movie like Deadpool or Deadpool 2, I guess, or the Lego movie where they bring it up. That it's not part of the plot or anything, and they don't necessarily bring it up all the time, but it's like every once in a while they'll either talk to the audience or they'll say something about it. And I used to always think it'd be like they break the fourth wall and so it'd be like, you're not supposed to break the fourth wall. Oh yeah, sorry, and then they continue doing it. That's not how you do it. You break the fourth wall, everyone in the movie has to act like it's normal or not just not mention that they did it. And yeah, that's how to break the fourth wall pretty much. Anyway, so when the other people, like the Star System people, which the sister, never mind. I did really like how self-aware it was that when Emmett had that nightmare, how self-aware it was that that is the truth. That Armageddon will happen. I did like that fact. Also, it was so easy to catch the Armageddon thing. I mean, I know, like, the beginning I was like, oh, it's probably just making fun of Mom or something, but I was like, there's something else behind that. And then, it's explained later, and I'll get to that later. But who didn't catch that? There's also a scene in this movie. So when they all go behind the gate, all the people, citizens of Apocalypseburg, they're all just kind of sitting there, then all of a sudden, what's his name? Oh yeah, the Star System people, they come inside, they kidnap a bunch of the people, then they go up, they kidnap basically all of Emmett's friends from the original. Anyway, then it shows, it's the best. So they're all just kind of sitting there, and they're like, what are we doing? Emmett's like, we're gonna go stop them, blah, 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 and they're like, we don't have anyone. All we have is the old Aquaman and the unlicensed Larry Poppins, and then it just shows this one guy, he's like a male version of Mary Poppins, and that was hilarious to me, because I like the unlicensed. And then they also say, we couldn't get Marvel to return our calls. It's just funny. Actually, why would Marvel not return their calls? This is still Lego, so why can't Lego call them and be like, because they already got them for those Lego shorts and the Lego games, so why can't they get them for these Lego movies? Why can't they? Actually, I think I know. I think it's because it's Warner Bros. And there's also DC in it. So, it's kind of like how Disney refuses to be in that Lego Dimensions game. Rest in peace. But, it's kind of like how they refuse to be in the Lego Dimensions game because DC's in it or something. I don't know why they don't want to be in Lego Dimensions. It's the coolest thing ever. Disney Infinity made their own game. Disney made their own game, Disney Infinity. Also, rest in peace. So Emmett marches out of the base and he's like, we're gonna go stop them. Then all of a sudden the door closes. He's like, oh, I guess I'm alone now. So he decides to build the ship out of a house that got destroyed, which is sad when that got destroyed. He builds the house, the flying house. He flies out into space. Then when he's out in space, he's flying through the dimension door or something. I don't know. There's the upstairs door or something. I really like how this movie connected back to the fact that this is all in a kid's head. Because the original Lego movie was like that, and it was kind of like that, actually. They kind of didn't fully go with that element, but I'm fine with that anyway. But the Lego Ninjago movie kind of toyed with that, but Lego Batman absolutely forgot that happened. But here, also, one thing I noticed is that me and my brother were having an argument over whether the Lego Batman movie takes place after Lego movie or before. I say before, and I say something happened with his relationship between everyone in that movie, because in this movie, he falls in love with Queen Whatever I Wanna Be. What about Batgirl from the original? And so I wouldn't assume that he would be in this epic side quest in that movie. Then the Duplo people would come, start attacking the city, and then he would eventually just decide to leave back to Gotham for a bit. I would assume that Lego Batman movie takes place before he knew Wildstyle and all those people, and then something happened and he met all those people. But that's just what I assume. Anyway, so then it turns into a musical, because why not? No, but it does actually become a musical, and then the girl, Queen Whatever I Wanna Be, just starts singing. I really liked that character, actually, because you know how she can change to different forms. But I really liked her animation, because she's mainly kind of just a blob that just moves around, changes figures and whatnot. I really liked the creativity behind that character. But I really like... how do I describe it? So she's supposed to be the good guy, but we all know she's the bad guy, and I really liked how they toyed with that in the movie. How it's like, you're like, she's going to be the bad guy. So I really liked how they made the whole song where she was like, I'm not bad, I'm not evil, I'm not terrible, or something like that. I thought that was hilarious. And it does really feel like she's the villain the whole movie. Really well done. Because I actually think when they were making it, they were like, let's make this movie as if she's the villain until a certain point in the movie. Anyway, so then all of them were like, oh yeah, she's totally cool because she totally gets everything I want. And Wildstyle's like, no, I'm gonna go stop her. So all the people, they're all like happy, whatnot. They go to the Crystal Planet, the Sparkles Planet. I will get to Rex Danger Vest or whatever soon. But they all go to the Crystal Planet. And when they all go to that Crystal Planet, there's a guy there, he's a vampire, and he's like, oh, I am a vampire, and then they make fun of Twilight. I love it when movies do that. There are so many movies I see sometimes where they make fun of Twilight, and I hate Twilight, so they love that, to be honest. And yes, that song was in my head for a while, actually. Another thing that bothered me in this movie is that they didn't even reference Lego Ninjago. I mean, it's fine if they don't reference it, I guess. I don't really care all that much. But, come on, you made a movie about it. Tie it into the Lego movie somehow. Anyway, all the main characters in the original Lego movie love this world. They love all the people there. And then Wildstyle gets her hair, like, kind of cleaned. And then all of a sudden, there's, like, blue in her hair. And it's like, oh, what else is she? She covers it up. And she's like, well, I'm not covering a dark past. And I actually thought that was interesting. I was really hoping to see where that went. We did see where it went, and I wasn't exactly that amazed by it. Anyway, so as Emmett's going up the stairs, I guess, or going out of the room, as he's going there, Rex Danger Vest, he's about to crash into a glass asteroid. I do not get that. But Rex Danger Vest comes in, he smashes it, and he saves him. And once they get on the ship, he breaks the ship. I don't know why, the little ship that Emmett made, I don't know why he broke it. But they go in, there are raptors there. And I just know that the writers of these movies are amazing comedians. But all the raptors are all just talking like they're at work. Like, hey, have you seen the water? I don't know, I was Jerry. And one of them's like, I hate Mondays. I loved that. It was hilarious. Who isn't in a position where Mondays are awful? I mean, if you're like a YouTuber, Mondays are fine for you. But I hate Mondays because my Mondays are basically wake up and go to school after having a great weekend of seeing movies and reviewing those movies. Now you have to go to school and hate your life. I'm just kidding, school's fine, but it actually isn't though. And after Emmett got like kind of bullied on his planet for not being so tough, he's like, I'm gonna be tough, and he asks Rex, can I be tough like you? And Rex is like, yeah, I'm gonna make you tough. And then they kind of work together in order to save Emmett's friends. And yeah, I liked all the cool worlds they went to. Nothing that special to talk about in the spoiler review, so we're not going to go into that. But I did really like the names of all of them. Because there are references in the names. I'm not remembering many of the names. The one that really stuck me, making sense, was Ripley from Alien. That's a good reference. And then there's also the other guy. That's they called the other rapper. I thought that was actually really funny. Like, he's like going like, like, he named them all movie names. I forget. There's no way to know what their names are, but I can probably search online later. But he's like, movie name. I don't remember the names. And he goes like, Ripley. And then he looks behind him, and the other one gets taken up in the vines. He's like, the other one. And I was like, because it's funny, because he just named another one. I don't know. That's not very funny when you explain a joke. But they do go into this cool town, and there's like all the Justice League are there, and they're all happy. Then there's like 2 Wonder Women on a bike, and then there's like this Duplo Wonder Woman that comes in with this shopping cart, and I was like, oh my god, that is terrifying, but it's also hilarious, and I burst out laughing. The fact will remain, this is a funny movie. Anyway, how in this scene, this song's gonna get stuck inside your head, is in my head forever now. Anyway, they're all running around, trying to escape all the Lego figures there who are like all happy, and Emmett does the cool punch thing where he punches and the ground breaks and him and Rex both drop down. And then the other one, Wildstyle, escapes going through the air vents. There's also that reference earlier where they're just like, hey, she like took her hair off or something because, I don't know, she was like freaking out because her hair got dyed back, Wildstyle. And then she was like, what am I now, Bruce Willis? And then and Bruce Willis is in hot tub and he's like, I don't think so. Then later when she's going through the vent, Bruce Willis is like, oh, I totally don't live here, just scooch aside. And I was like, I just saw a movie last month with Bruce Willis in it. I think his best role of 2019 is the Lego Movie 2, to be honest. Now, fine with me if you really liked Glass. I just hated his character in that movie, and I'm really upset with what they did with him. Yes, everyone, a half an hour of me talking about Glass, so go check that out. I have a lot of content about Glass. So Wildstyle's on the bottom of, like, the party bus or whatever that all of her friends are on. She jumps down into this little belt kind of thing that's just moving all the Lego bricks, and that because they're building the temple. And Emmett and Rex are both in there, so they all meet up. They're all going to help each other take down this wedding. And then they put on their headsets. They're all good. And then Emmett comes up with a super convoluted, awesome plan. Wildstyle has to go take out the phone. Rex has to drop her off there, I think. And then Emmett has to jump, do the epic punch, and take down the entire palace from the very top, and it'll cause a chain reaction, destroy the whole palace. And we're all thinking that they're the good guys here. Anyway, well, Wildstyle goes in to stop the phone. Her and this other girl have this big brawl, and at the end of the brawl, she's like, "No, we're good guys. I don't get why you guys don't see. We're not bad people. We're good people. We're just inspired by you." And then they notice, like, that the original form of Queen Whatever I Want is the heart that Emma made at the beginning of the movie. I'm going to mainly talk about that message at the very end of the video, so don't expect it right now, because it does really start to kick in at this point of the movie. But I did like the fact that it does kind of show, like, she's, like, trying to be tough so that she can communicate to her, like, communicate to Wildstyle, and that does play into the message at the end. Anyway, Emmett is just kind of going up to the top of the building, while Rex is, I don't know what Rex really was doing anyway, but he's climbing up to the top of the building. He's about to start the chain reaction, and Wildstyle's been convinced that they're not the bad guys. The Queen, she's not the bad guy, even though I still believe she's the bad guy. And then Emmett is like, goes up to the top, and Wildstyle's like, "Yes, I used to be someone who would dance around and be happy. In fact, I loved the song Everything Is Awesome." And he's like, "You're not you. You're brainwashed." And then he goes up to the top and destroys the whole palace. He says, like, the real the real Lucy wouldn't say that. He destroys the whole palace, and everyone starts crying, which I thought was kind of dumb. There's also the banana peel, which I thought was hilarious, because he's like, "Alright, don't mess this up." And he walks out, he slips, he falls down the stairs, he falls into the chocolate pit, and he's like, "Oh man, this happened again, everyone don't look away." And I was like, it's just so funny. I don't need to explain why that's funny. But, the more this movie went on, the more I started to like it at this point. Like, at this point, I was probably like, 8 out of 10. I really like it. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's funny. The later it gets on is why I give it a 9 out of 10. Not a very high. Probably if I give it a percentage, it'd probably be a 90%. That's still great. And after the wedding cake palace thing gets destroyed, then I didn't really believe Batman's relationship with Queen Whenever I Want Abby. You're not really supposed to. Eventually, by the end, I was kind of like, I guess it makes sense. But I did like it when they were starting to argue with each other, because that does make sense, almost. I found the relationship alright, I guess. I did like his relationship with the Batgirl more, but whatever. Anyway, since the palace got destroyed, your Mom-ageddon actually happens. Or our Mom-ageddon actually happens. And the mom is like, "We're going to put all the Legos away because you guys can't work with them." But one thing that I did notice in this movie that really bothered me, and a lot of people do this when they don't understand how Legos work, but I know this from memory, and like, I know this in my brain. When you box up a bunch of Lego sets that have already been built, the pieces are not all separated. You will find chunks of sets, 2 bricks maybe connected together. Granted, there are a lot of individual pieces in there, but it's mainly just chunks of sets in a box. I know this from actual memory. This happens to me when I box up my Legos sometimes. It hasn't happened for a couple of years, but it has happened before, where I have to box up all the Legos, and they're just pieces of the sets, or maybe like a leg of like some mech or something. It doesn't work like you box all the pieces and all the pieces are separate. That's not how it works. They all start singing Everything Is Not Awesome. I did like it when Benny says, "Now I understand Radiohead," because I'm actually not a Radiohead fan. My dad saw this movie with me, and when that happened, I laughed because I knew he was going to laugh really hard. He laughed really hard. Big Radio fan. Let's make a Queen joke in one of these movies. I mean, that's like my favorite band, and I know that's weird because it's like middle school or Sicko Mode Mo Bamba, but I absolutely despise both of those songs, and I actually don't like any rap music, to be honest, unless it's Eminem. Eminem's good. I guess I enjoy Queen the most of any artist. It's weird for me, but that's me. Anyway, by the end of this movie, Rex Dangerous is revealed to be the villain and the future version of Emmett, which wasn't an amazing twist to me, but I did like it when they're like, "Wait, who's the real villain?" It's like, there has to be a villain in a story, because they know they're in a movie. They're like, "Wait, who's the real villain?" Then it just shows Rex, and I was like, oh, dang, that is true. Oh my god. And then it's revealed that he is the future version of Emmett. That is a good twist there. He reveals that when he got banished to the Under the Dry R, it was actually when he crashed into the asteroid. He got banished to Under the Dry R. He was just mad and angry, so he got up, he got prepared, he got ready, and then he decided to go out and make a time machine and go back in time, get some raptor friends, and then make a ship, and then go stop the event from ever happening, and toughen Emmett up to still become him. I like that there. Anyway, Emmett gets banished to the Under the Dry R, and then, what's his name, Rex is like, okay, it's not working, so I'm gonna kill you. He comes up, he starts, like, beating him up, and they kind of have a fight, which I thought was cool. But anyway, all the Lego figures in the box, they're all like, we all have to get out of here, and Wild Style Fishy learns to appreciate everything. Everyone else becomes sad, but she becomes happy. They all come out of the box, because the brother of the sister is just like, I'm gonna get these out. And then he makes the heart again. He goes and takes it to his sister. And I really liked that, because one thing you'll actually realize, and then he shows, like, earlier, like 5 years ago, he, like, gave the heart to his sister. And I really realized this. Let's talk about the message of this movie, because then it shows them playing outside. And then it shows, like, everything being awesome at the end of the movie. So I don't think I have much to say other than this. But if you really analyze it, the ending message, the ending theme of this movie is that younger siblings are inspired by older siblings. I don't have any younger sibling. I am the youngest in my family. But I learned this from I have 2 older siblings. I kind of agree. I really kind of want to be like my older siblings. I am inspired by them. And then older siblings will relate to that, because they'll be like, yes, I do relate to that my younger sibling wants to be like me. And it's a really good message, and it's a really interesting message, because kids are mainly going to see this movie, which is perfect. If you're going to make a message, make it relatable for adults, because when they were kids, and then make kids really reflect upon their life. That is, like, the best way to make a message. You can't make a message that only adults will get, or only kids will get. And I notice a lot of movies are just like, no message, or they'll do the message. Remember Christopher Robin and Mary Poppins Returns? Well, those movies both have the exact same message. A good message, but the same message. Almost the same plot, actually. They're both movies about banking, and about the kids from the original growing old. Whatever. Those movies are flawed. Good, but flawed. But this is an interesting message that everyone can relate to, which is why in the end of this movie, and when the credits started rolling, I was like, I'm going to give this a 90%, and the reason why is because that message is creative and unique. I really enjoyed this movie. I might go see it again. This is everything a Lego Movie 2 needed to be. It knew it didn't need to be better than the original. All it needed was to tell a good message about family. It was good. It was relatable. I really enjoyed this movie, and I think more kids will enjoy this movie if you still live with your siblings, because I do. Well, I only live with one. The other one's gone. She lives on her own now. But I live with my other sibling, so I can relate. I really loved this movie. I will say I love it. I'm going to definitely check this one out again in the theaters. So yeah, I still stand by the 9 out of 10 rating. What do you guys think on the Lego Movie 2, the second part? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. Happy Death Day review this weekend. Also, Alita review on Thursday night. See you guys next time. Bye.